Hi everybody, update today on a little bit of an upgrade I'm doing on my laptop. I use a small, well I call it small, but it was actually one of the biggest netbooks that I could find back in the day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually upgrade my drive. It's been running really slow. I use it mostly for my laser and video editing, as well as some processing with Photoshop. Before I could handle it no problem. Now it's just beginning to bog down. I didn't realize I had bought this computer in 2011, so it has been showing some signs of age. I'm actually upgrading to this Transcend Sata SSD, 512 gigabyte. It's going to be a big upgrade from the 250 gigabyte that's in here, plus it's SSD, so it's going to be a lot faster, I'm hoping. Rewrite much faster. Now, before I do that, there's a lot of stuff that I have to do and get ready. One is when you're going to do an upgrade from a normal hard drive to an SSD, you need obviously the SSD. For this process, I'm going to be using Clonezilla, so your SSD has to be, your new hard drive has to be bigger or the exact same size as your old hard drive. I'm going from a 250 gigabyte to a 512 gigabyte, so that's not going to be an issue. Another thing too is I'm just cloning the drive. I'm not doing any partitioning and doing any kind of weird stuff, so it's literally going to be copy this drive and put it onto this one. So another thing I needed was this SATA to USB adapter cable. I just got it at Fry's. It was 13 bucks because I couldn't wait. Go on eBay. You can get them for like $4 or $5. Don't get kind of caught up in the craze. There's like Monster Cable makes some other ones are like $25 to $30 and even $40 for these things. This is just a cheap $13 off the shelf. I already have all this stuff. I need this little piece right here. I don't know if you can see it. That's the only connector that I needed. So you're gonna have to get that. Again, 13 bucks. The Transcend wasn't that expensive in retrospect because when these came out, they were sub $1,000. Now you can get them on sale. This has an MSRP of $300. Newegg had it on sale for $175, and I'm actually down the street. I work down the street from the Newegg facility, so I just went to go pick it up, and that's why I'm kind of eager to get it installed. Another thing you're going to do is you're going to need a recovery disk and a backup of your old operating system and your old information on your computer. Just play it safe. Just back it all up just in case. I'm kind of throwing caution to the wind. I have over 200 gigs worth of stuff that I need to back up, and I just don't want to spend the time to do it. So it's not going to kill me if I have to redo all this stuff, but for some of you guys it might. You're also going to need, I'm using Clonezilla. You can use a lot of other programs out there. Clonezilla just seemed the easiest. You're going to need a boot disk of Clonezilla, so make sure you burn a copy of it to a DVD. This is actually my recovery disk. So I'm going to burn a copy of Clonezilla onto a DVD. My laptop doesn't have an internal CD DVD burner, so I'm actually using my LG Slim portable burner to do it. I love it. It was like 30 bucks, so, and I use it for everything. This is my HP Pavilion DM1. So yeah, it's old, but it does the job. It's got Windows 7, and it does everything I need to do. It even does Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator without issue. And I do photo editing and video editing on it. So that's why I'd rather upgrade the hard drive as opposed to buying a new computer. Cost savings there. So I'm going to crack into this, and then at the end I'll see if it works. Like I said, you're gonna have to plug in your your new SATA drive via USB to clone it. So once you get all that done, actually I did want to do an unboxing of this just so you guys can see it, because I've actually never seen it. So I'm actually kind of curious to what this looks like. And then also I'm going to do a show side by side of the old drive and this drive so you guys can see it a little better. This is a 2.5 inch solid state drive, SSD 370 SATA, 512 gigabyte. And this one says it includes a 3.5 inch bracket, which is fine and dandy. Which makes me just think like I want to update my tower computer eventually. But that has a 1 terabyte hard drive in it, so it's going to be a lot more expensive. I think the 1 terabyte of this one was $400. So you can see a little bit more of a cost there. So let me do a quick unboxing of this so you guys can see it, and then I'll just crack into the cloning after that. Alright. Okay, so this is the Transcend SSD. This is actually my laser cutter, so you can see it in front of it. But I got the Transcend from Newegg. Like I said, there was other drives out there. Samsung made one, and a couple other companies. I just got this one because it looked pretty inexpensive, and it had some pretty decent reviews on Amazon. I did notice that I was looking at the box, and I'm going to be using Clonezilla to clone this drive, but Transcend actually has their own software. It's called System Clone, and you can get it at www.transcend-info.com/downloads, and it's called SSD Scope. And it's their System Clone software, so that actually may be good for people who are new to this or you know, don't have any experience with Clonezilla. Like I said, I'm just going to be using Clonezilla. It's easier. Because I'm not familiar with that software. So let's crack open this box. I'm going to try to cut it as nicely as possible without damaging it too much. But if I rip the box open, oh well. It's not like the box is worth anything to me. So I did actually look for this drive with the exact same serial number, part number, and you know, specifications on eBay, and they were actually more expensive than Amazon and Newegg. So that was a huge surprise to me. Even with tax, they were still more expensive. So shame on you, eBay sellers, for trying to rip people off. Because I always go to eBay. I love eBay. Well, this box is destroyed, so. Come on, damn it. Alright. Alright. Okay, empty box. Now I've seen hard drives come like this before. I know it's pretty standard. Here's the 3.5 adapter. This is the manual. We don't need a manual. But yeah, this 3.5 adapter, so if you're going to put it in the tower computer, this is what you would use. More advertisement. Solutions for Apple. Who uses Apple? Warranty card. Transcend does have a 3-year warranty on this, so I think I'll keep that. Some mounting screws. Alright. And then the actual SSD, which is sandwiched between these two pieces of plastic. All hard drives, unless it's going to be some like knockoff that you bought from China that is trying to scam you, are going to come in ESD sensitive bags. So, you know, there's a reason electronic components do not like electrostatic discharge, and they'll tell you by not working. So, this is the bag it comes in, and we're just going to open it. Now, I'm not wearing a grounding device, and my employer would probably yell at me right now because we deal with this stuff all the time. But I'm pretty confident I'm not going to fry it. So, 215 solid state, Transcend, SATA 6 gigabytes a second, SS370. There's the part number, my serial number. Made in Taiwan. This is Rojas compliant. Yay, no lead. And there's the front of it, solid state drive SATA. This is actually really light. Like, kind of crazy light. Like, I feel like there's nothing in there. So, Hopefully I didn't get scammed. No, I'm kidding. They're gonna be super light. So it's shockingly light. Like I had no idea. There it is, and I will get to the cloning now and give you guys an update on that. So off to clone. Okay, so now I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of how to swap out the hard drive on my HP laptop with this SSD. So, regular laptop, HP Pavilion DM1, older model, came out 2010, 2011. So first, we got to flip it upside down, and we're actually going to remove the battery cover, or the battery. The battery has to come out, or else the back panel won't come off. It's got little locking tabs on the side, so let's get rid of the battery, and we'll start popping it off. If you grab the inside edge, where the battery compartment is, you'll be able to see two little grooves, kind of like little lips of where the cover is. So we just grab on those lips, lift, you hear some popping, and then slide and lift, and the back cover is off. Okay, so the next part's pretty simple. This is the hard drive. So we're going to be swapping out the old hard drive for the new one. I'm using a watch Phillips screwdriver to get the smaller screws out. There's 4 of them. You're actually going to have to do that. Use a small screwdriver to get those out. So first there's a connector here, and I'm going to point to it right here, right along the left side, at my left, where the SD card in slot is. There's a little socket right here. If you see it, it's got a little pull tab. So just grab that little pull tab and lift up. Give it a little force. It'll pop off, and it'll pop off like that. And then we're going to take the screws off. So let's get the screws off real quick. And there are 2 screws closer to the back of the laptop, which are a little bit more difficult to pull out. And my suggestion is to just unscrew them, leave them as is, unless you have a magnetic screwdriver, because it's going to be a lot easier to just pull the unit out and let the screws fall into the cage. So you see they fell into the cage here. So what we're going to do is take those screws out so we know where they're at. And I'm going to set the laptop aside real quick. And here is the old hard drive. It actually has a cage on it. Now this cage is necessary in the DM1. It actually offsets the hard drive to be flat with the slope of the bottom of it. So theoretically we don't need it for the new SSD, but it just houses it better this way. There are 4 more screws. I'm using a larger screwdriver, still small but larger than the watch one, and we're going to take those out. Now the Transcend SSD hard drive that I bought does have new hardware. It came with it, so you could technically mount this with new hardware, but why fix it when it's not broken? So we're just going to put the old hardware in and remove it from its cage. And now the connector here can come off, and it's as easy as that. So old connector, old hard drive, and here it is next to the SSD. You can see a noticeable difference in the thickness, and I want to show you guys real quick. I have a gram scale here, and I'm going to show you the difference in weight. So let's clear that. And this is the original hard drive coming in. Oh, I can't really see that. It looks like it exceeded the gram scale. So let's change the unit. Okay, that's still exceeded. I don't think it's going to be able to pick it up. Yep. It's going to exceed every single gram reading here. Let's see if I can do the SSD so you guys can see it. Also out. Okay. Okay, let's try this something different then. I guess I was a little too hopeful with the gram scale. So here I have, it's a little bit, this goes up to 5 kilograms. So let's tar this. Now we're gonna do ounces. So hopefully it'll come out. And then this one is the original hard drive. Comes in at 3.70 ounces. And you can see it there. Now the new SSD comes in at 1.75. So a little more than half the weight of the original hard drive. So that's great. And let's go ahead and put the new hard drive onto the cage. So grab the connector, orient it onto the new hard drive, just like the old one. And then we're gonna fit it onto the cage. Now there's only one way it can go on, so you know, you can't really mess it up unless you're trying. So we're gonna put this on. Now the SSD doesn't fit all the way down into the cage because it's not as thick. So you're going to have to hold it in order for it to line up with the screw holes, and then just adjust it accordingly little by little. And like so, and the last one. And we are in the cage. Awesome. So let's bring the laptop back. There we are. And we're gonna put it into the cage. Now again, I recommend installing the outside, or the screws that are the hardest to get to, which are near the back of the hard drive, into the cage first, and then slowly lowering the cage onto its spot in the laptop. And then once it's in, just tighten down those screws. And 2 more. And these are a lot easier to put in the front facing too, so stick that in. Okay, and then the last bit is getting the connector back in. So just grab it and push it down. You're not going to hear any audible clicking or anything. It's going to seat itself. Make sure the little cable runs along the little channel here, and then we're going to put the cover back on. So when putting this cover back on, the bottom edge here goes in first. It actually has little hooked connectors on it, which hook into that spot. So that part goes, make sure that part goes in first, or else you're going to start breaking things. And then slowly lower it and press firmly. You should hear audible snaps. Okay, and then finally reinstall your battery. And that's it. And you've just done an SSD swap on an HP Pavilion DM1. So this is a real-time view of Windows starting up with my old hard drive. As you can see, it's taking its sweet time. I'm not speeding up the video or trying to use any camera tricks. This is really real-time how my camera was, or how my computer was booting up into Windows before the SSD swap. So you guys can actually see how long it really took, and how I wasn't really messing around when I said my computer had been acting extremely slow. So let's just let this go through its motions, because it's going to take forever and ever and ever. You know, now doing this voiceover, I never realized how long it actually did take. Can't believe I was sitting through this whole time. Ridiculous. Damn you, old hard drive. Alright, now it's in. Alright, let's see the SSD. No tomfoolery, this is real time again, loading off my SSD. You guys will see how fast it is. It's ridiculous how fast it goes compared to before. So once the video ends, you'll see it load. If you like the video, please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, @Obsessions, just like my channel, OBSESSCIONS. Plenty more videos are going to come. Check out my other videos. I do a lot of cool stuff.